There is a story that the powerful people of this country were hoping you would never hear. A story that was quietly managed, carefully contained, and deliberately buried inside the walls of a heavily guarded minister's compound in a small Ebonyi State community, far from the cameras, far from the journalists, and far from the Nigerian public that deserves to know what happened. But Sahara Reporters found it, and now the whole country is asking the question that Dave Umahi cannot answer. What happened inside your house on the night of June 26, 2026? Because here is what we know. A young woman named Mary Habila traveled all the way from Kaduna State to Uburu, the hometown of Nigeria's Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, in Ohaozara local government area of Ebonyi State. This is not Umahi's official government residence in Abuja. This is his private village home in his hometown. The two women had traveled from Kaduna State, a journey of several hours to reach this location. By the morning of June 27, 2026, barely 24 hours after their arrival, Mary Habila was found unresponsive inside the minister's residence. Jonathan Bawado, a police officer who serves as Umahi's personal assistant and who previously worked as his aide of camp when Umahi was governor of Ebonyi State, allegedly alerted medical personnel after Habila was discovered. A doctor and an ambulance were dispatched. Professor Chikuhurum Nanya Alo, consultant public health physician and chief medical director of the Dave Umahi Federal University of Health Sciences in Uburu, was also alerted. The medical team attempted to revive Habila but failed. Her body was subsequently conveyed to a mortuary by police operatives. The identification tag on her body was retrieved by the divisional police officer and handed over to the Ebonyi State Police Command as evidence. The case was initially handled by the Ohaozara Divisional Police Headquarters. It has since been transferred to the Ebonyi State Criminal Investigation Department in Abakaliki for further investigation. Multiple sources have alleged that Mary Habila's body was found naked inside the minister's residence. This detail has not been officially confirmed or denied by Umahi or anyone in his camp. Now here is where the official explanation from Umahi's camp falls apart. When Sahara Reporters broke the story, Umahi's senior special assistant on media, Francis Nwaze, was contacted for comment. He hung up immediately after being informed that the inquiry was about the incident. He said nothing, he just hung up. Efforts to reach Professor Alo for a comment were unsuccessful as he did not respond to calls. The Ebonyi State Police Commissioner Hope Urunwa Okafor did not respond to media calls. The Police Public Relations Officer SP Joshua Ukandu said he was unaware of the incident. The Ebonyi State government said nothing. The Federal Ministry of Works said nothing. Total silence from every official channel that should have been the first to speak. Then, when the story could no longer be contained, Umahi's camp released a statement, and the explanation they offered is the part of this story that every Nigerian needs to examine very carefully. They said Mary Habila and Anita Baski were employees of the Dave Umahi Federal University of Health Sciences in Uburu, that they had been on secondment to the Federal Ministry of Works as physiotherapists for the past 3 years, and that they were at the minister's residence to provide him with personal physiotherapy. Let us break down why that explanation raises more questions than it answers. Two female employees of a federal university in Ebonyi State allegedly traveled from Kaduna State, where they apparently were at the time, to a minister's private village home in Ebonyi State on the same day they arrived to provide personal physiotherapy to a minister. Not to an official government medical facility, not to the minister's official residence with full staff and security documentation, to his private country home in his village at night. As journalist Fejiro Oliver of Secret Reporter correctly asked on X,
How does a federal university second 2 female employees to the private house of a male minister on the same day those employees arrived from another state? What sort of arrangement is that? Is this how federal universities treat their female staff members? And the question that every ordinary Nigerian is asking is even simpler and even more devastating. If it was a poor man in this country, if it was someone with no title, no security detail, no lawyers, and no government connections who brought 2 women from another state to his house at night, and one of them was found dead and naked by morning, what would the Nigerian police force have done to that man by now? You already know the answer. He would be in custody. He would be on the front page of every newspaper in the country, described as a suspect. His remaining guest would be in protective custody being questioned by detectives. His house would be a crime scene with tape across the entrance, and his name would be destroyed in the court of public opinion before any trial even began. But here we have a sitting minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a man who was just weeks earlier challenging Peter Obi to a debate on national television, a man who was calling Peter Obi's support base AI politics, a man who was warning Peter Obi to stop attacking Tinubu or face his wrath, and that same man has a dead woman in his house, found naked, and the official explanation is physiotherapy. And the police investigation has been quietly transferred from the local divisional headquarters to the state CID in Abakaliki. And the Ebonyi State Police Command will not speak publicly, and Umahi's media aide hung up on journalists, and the minister himself, when he finally addressed it publicly on July 13, 2026, did not answer the core questions. He said the family broke open her door, called doctors, and they tried to revive her. He said an autopsy was ordered. He said his lawyers would go after anyone spreading false reports about him. He did not explain what 2 women from Kaduna State were doing at his private village home overnight. He did not address the naked body allegation. He did not say whether he was present at the residence when Habila died. He threatened journalists and moved on. Henry Shield, head of Mission Leadership and Accountability Initiative, posted on X that a former presidential aide contacted him about this incident and gave him a vivid picture of what happened, and that after his own private investigation, his conclusion was 3 words: Umahi should rot in jail. Mary Habila left Kaduna State alive on June 26, 2026. She never went back. Her family deserves answers. Nigeria deserves answers, and the investigation that is currently sitting quietly inside the Ebonyi State CID, far from public scrutiny, far from independent oversight, and apparently far from urgency, needs to be the most transparent and most independent investigation this country has conducted in recent memory. Because if a minister can have a woman die naked in his private home, and the official response is silence, lawyer threats, and a physiotherapy story that does not hold up to basic questioning, then there is no justice in this country for ordinary Nigerians. There is only power. And power in Nigeria has always been very good at burying its secrets. 3 questions. Drop your answers in the comment section right now. 1. Dave Umahi's official explanation is that 2 women from Kaduna State were physiotherapists seconded from his university to his private village home to give him personal treatment. Do you find that explanation credible? And if not, what explanation do you think more accurately describes why those 2 women made that journey? 2. The media aide hung up, the police command went silent, the state government said nothing, and Umahi threatened journalists instead of answering questions. Based on everything you have seen from powerful people in Nigeria when they have something to hide, what does that pattern of silence and intimidation tell you about what really happened inside that house? 3. If an ordinary Nigerian man had a woman die naked in his house under these same circumstances, we all know he would be in custody right now. Why do you think Dave Umahi has not been invited for questioning by the police as a person of interest? And what would it take for justice to actually be served in this case? Leave your answer below, share this video right now because Mary Habila's family deserves for this story to reach every corner of Nigeria. Notification bell on, subscription locked in. This is where we expose the kings, not bow to them.